Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites. How we doing? We got a show for you today. We got a show for you today. We got to talk Kyrie Irving and what he's going through in the media. And we got to talk about who's actually holding Kyrie down. Because in order to withstand this onslaught, you got to have support. So we are going to really go ahead and get into it. For those of you who are unaware, Kyrie Irving is an NBA star. And recently he has come under fire because he tweeted a post to a link to a documentary called Hebrews to Negroes. And it was without any accompanying comment. It was only the link. He didn't say anything. Either way, it was just the link. And he's coming under fire for it because the documentary itself was considered to be or contain anti-Semitic viewpoints and material. When he was asked about that post, he declined to apologize for it or anything like that, although he took responsibility for having posted it. But he also said, he's not endorsing anything necessarily one way or the other. It was just a link to a documentary that he found interesting, and he thought maybe someone else would also find it interesting. This has snowballed into a full-on canceling of Kyrie Irving. His team, the Nets, has suspended him. Thank you, Miss Lucasely. Thank you, sweetheart. They've suspended him for, last I heard, at least 5 games. He was dropped from a Nike endorsement as well as a result of his unwillingness to sort of grovel in the media about what he posted. So the Nets have decided that in order for him to be ingratiated back into everybody's good graces, that he has to fulfill at least 5 or 6 pieces of criteria in order to basically be uncanceled. Okay. Now, I'm not here to take any stance one way or the other concerning the content that he linked to. This is really to talk about the public lynching that yet another Black man is going through, and why he's going through this public lynching, if you want to call it, this whipping. They've got him, he's being pilloried at this point, right? A pillory punishment, that used to be you were punished like in the town square, and you were placed into a pillory and beaten, flogged, whipped as a punishment for whatever deed you had done And the punishment was performed publicly in order to discourage anyone else that might have a bright idea to follow in your footsteps and do whatever it was that you did. There are many terms for it: buck breaking, all of this sort of thing. And typically in this country, Black men are the targets of such things, particularly when they are wealthy, particularly when they are famous, particularly if they wield some type of influence in the culture. If it is deemed that they are not towing the line in one way or another, they are humiliated essentially, or threatened with their livelihood, threatened to be destroyed, threatened to have everything that they've worked for taken from them in swift order. And we're witnessing it not only right now in public with Kyrie Irving, but we're also witnessing it with Kanye West. And we're going to get to Kanye as well. But I want to show a couple of clips for those of you who may not have seen them. The first clip I'm going to show is what Shannon Sharp, aka Unc, had to say about Kyrie's situation and just what he thought about that situation. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen really quickly, and we're going to share Shannon Sharp's thoughts. So here's if you can't see them, he may say them, but these are the 6 items that the Nets have said that Kyrie needs to complete in order to return to the team. The first one is to apologize/condemn the movie altogether. The second one is a $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes, aka the Anti-Defamation League. He must undergo sensitivity training. He must undergo anti-semetic training. Okay? He must meet with leaders in the Jewish community and with the ADL. And then he must meet with the Nets owner, Joe Tsai, in order to demonstrate understanding. Those are the criteria. Let's listen to what Shannon has to say.
It wasn't enough that he apologized. Now they're trying to rob. I believe they're trying to rob the man of his dignity. They're trying to make him grovel to come and get his job back. And I don't agree with that. A man said he was sorry. Hey, I was wrong. Yeah, I would have liked to see him. Hey, I shared a link to my page. It was brought to my attention that I offended a group of people. And for that, I would like to say I'm sincerely sorry. That was not my intention. In the hope of trying to enlighten and educate my people, I was disrespectful. I was disparaging to another group of people. Could have said that, Skip, and maybe it wouldn't have gotten to this point. They gave him this manifesto, Skip, of what they want him to. I'm like, now come on now, y'all guys, look.
Like 6 things.
Yeah, y'all going to y'all. It's kind of like you build a relationship, and the other party say, well, okay, I need you to do this. I said I was sorry, but that's not enough. No. Now I need to rob you of something to put you to let you know. Because Skip, I need to. Right now, what Brooklyn's trying to do, they're trying to put him in front of all the world to see. You see what happens? If you do this, others, this is what could possibly happen to you. I don't agree with that, Skip. I think for me, that's a bit much. And I've been very critical of Kyrie. But I think what Brooklyn is doing now, that's a bit much.
Okay. So, let me come back to you really quickly. Okay? Because I agree with Shannon in this point. It's doing too much. And it is like a humiliation ritual that they're attempting to put Kyrie through. And the reason that they are attempting to put Kyrie through a humiliation ritual is because he is a black man that is being punished for having control over himself. See, you can't convince me that this isn't about going back to the jab that Kyrie did not do. That was him taking control of his physical body and making decisions for himself. Because how dare he make a decision that put himself before the organization, that put himself before the team, that put himself before the NBA. How dare he put his concerns as a human being, as a man, before the concerns of the corporations that think they own him. See, it goes back to that. We own you. So how dare you have the audacity, the unmitigated gall to operate as if you have autonomy away from us? Don't you know we own you, you jigaboo you? You supposed to be bouncing a ball and saying yassam to us. You are not supposed to have a thought. You are not supposed to have an identity. You are not supposed to do any of these things that is separate from what we tell you you're gonna do. The thoughts that you have and express are going to be the thoughts that we tell you that you can have and express. And how dare you think to express another thought that you didn't run by us and that didn't get our stamp of approval. And nothing said that Kyrie had his own interest in mind. Thank you, Anthony Perkins said, my body, my choice. I'm not taking no jab either. Exactly. Because we thought we had a choice in that matter to take whatever medical treatment that we wanted to take or not. But aside from that, what that represented was that he didn't toe the line earlier this year. He didn't toe that line earlier this year. And he was quiet about that. He wasn't trying to make everybody else make that decision. He was making a decision for himself and for his family. As a human being and a citizen of this country, he's supposed to be able to do, supposedly. So he had the audacity to think about his own personal health and physicality. Because he knows, thank you, John Rambro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. Because he knows that if anything happens to me, that I'm going to be replaced. If it's not this jab, I'm not going to play if I break my ankle or I get injured or something like that. If I get injured or something happens to me health-wise or physically, what are the Nets going to do? They going to play their next game. That's what they're going to do. They're going to move on as an organization. That's what they're going to do. They're going to say the right thing in the media. Oh, we wish Kyrie the best. We wish him a speedy recovery. The most that they're going to do is put him on injured reserve or something like that. Or if it's too bad, they're going to let him go. And the Brooklyn Nets is going to continue to be the Brooklyn Nets. And the next year, they're going to try to draft somebody or acquire somebody to take Kyrie's place on that team. It is what it is. And it appears to me that Kyrie understands that. And it's fine. He's working. And you can always get replaced on your job. Okay. So since that's the case, let me look out for me, because y'all are not going to look out for me before you look out for you. And if I'm not looking out for me, who looking out for me? In this instance of what we're talking about right now, Kyrie is attempting to assert his right to find out and figure out who he is culturally speaking. Now, he posted the link to that documentary without any statement to accompany it. So you make of it what you will. You either click it or you don't. He never said you got to believe it, or he's running a class on it, or he's endorsing it. He actually didn't say anything. Thank you, Matrix, for how they condemning him for sharing the link, but Jeff Bezos and Amazon can make millions of dollars off the book and the link with not even a whisper. That got me hot. Cook them. Thank you so much. Because they're not going to do that. Because this is about something else. This is about punishing a black man for having the audacity to do with himself, to dispose of himself as he see fit. To do what he needed to do in terms of his health and his body and all of these things. Thank you, Stephen Harris. Thank you so much. To do what he needs to do in terms of finding out who he is. Finding out who he is. Whatever conclusion that come to, nobody has to agree. It doesn't matter if anyone agrees or disagrees with the conclusion that he coming to about who he is culturally. Thank you, Tavis, that Kyrie got spine and they don't like that, my empress. Exactly, they don't. Because he's a black man with a backbone. That's the problem. The whole problem they having is that he doesn't just shuck and jive whenever. He has control over his finances. They making a big deal out of this, but did they make a big deal out of it in 2020 when he donated like $1.5 million to supplement the income of the WNBA? Where are them women at? Where are those female players that Kyrie Irving's money out of his pocket that he donated over to the WNBA? He didn't have to do that. That wasn't his obligation to pay them. Thank you, Frederick Howard said a 1710 rule in Virginia tore up the black community as a whole. Thank you so much. Where are those female WNBA players that are coming out in mass and in force to support Kyrie when he supported them when they was down bad? Where are they? Where are they? Where are you? He donated $1.5 million. Y'all already ain't hardly making no money. Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much, Steve. And said, dug into the oldies but goodies. Sis, you have truly evolved. This is in recognition of your growth. Thank you so much. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that support, Stephen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Team Theo said, would you interview him? We need Kyrie unedited. You know, I would not be opposed to an interview with Kyrie Irving. I support that brother. I support his decision to stand on what he's standing on. Because you got to be able to stand on your square. You got to be able to stand on your value system. You got to be able to do it. And we're going to talk about why he's really able to truly do this. Right? So then they want to make him fulfill a checklist, right, to prove his lesson is learned. And they also just want to show the world that this man is nothing to the system. We can build him up and we can tear him down. That's basically what Shannon Sharpe was talking about, saying, listen, others, this is what could potentially happen to you. This is what's being said. Hey, we're going to make an example out of him. How dare you? You Negro have the absolute audacity to do what we said. We said stop. And you ain't gonna stop. We got a punishment for you. We gonna hit you in your pockets to make you backtrack on your value system. We gonna hit you in your pockets because what we concerned about is whether or not you live under the lost value system where wealth is at the top and it's not concerned with your spirituality, that you will sacrifice your spirituality. You will sacrifice what you believe in. You will sacrifice your values in order to keep a dollar coming. And this is how we maintain or attempt to maintain control over you. And this is how Zaddy attempts to maintain control over black men, not only in this individual way that they're doing with Kyrie, but in a collective way with black men. Any time in history, in the history of this country, that black men have asserted themselves and said, you know what? I'm in control. I'm in control of me, who I am, what I do with my person. I'm in control of how I see myself, my identity in society, and I'll be the judge and be in control of what happens to my wealth, what happens to my education, what happens to me legally, what happens to me. I'll be in control of that. And anytime black men have even began to open that door, here comes Zaddy with a masterclass in sign language. This is what we're seeing. Them 6 points is Zaddy, how Zaddy give you sign language. The shame, the insult, the guilting, and the need to be right. That is what we are listening and looking at and watching. Where you think hyenas get it from? They get it from Zaddy. He giving a masterclass 101 how to shame, insult, guilt, and needs to be right a black man. That's what he's doing. Try to shame you. Don't you want to say sorry for the link? And he like, why? I didn't make that documentary. I'm going to take responsibility for the things that I feel like I can take responsibility for, not what you think I should take responsibility for. Again, asserting control over myself. You don't get to run me. You don't get to tell me what's what with me. I tell you what's what with me. Well, you anti-Semitic and you anti-this and you anti-that. The insult. Okay. I'm not, but okay. Guilting. Don't you know you hurt all of these people and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Putting words in his mouth they were doing. He had to consistently deny, I didn't say this, I didn't say that. Try to make him out to be this monster of an individual, painting him with this super negative brush. A smear campaign, basically. And then they need to be right. They're consistently pressuring him. Oh, now he got to talk to Joe's side to demonstrate that he understands and that his lesson was learned. Like, what are y'all talking about? Thank you. Frederick said Lisa Ray did this to Ice Cube. What do women get? Exactly. So this is what we're doing here. This is what we are witnessing here. The public lynching and beating and the attempt to buck break Kyrie to make him stand down on his values, make him stand down on his morals, make him stand down on his belief systems. And they're consistently threatening him with higher and higher stakes. And I gotta go back to where these women from the WNBA that he supported, that they are quiet. You can hear a pin drop. Anytime you got Candace Owens done came out and said how she not gonna turn her back on Kyrie, even though she's got pressure from her peers and other entities to speak out against him and make distance or make comments negatively about Kyrie. When you got Candace Owens, you understand me, coming out on her platform and saying, you know what? I'm not going against Kyrie because I understand why he did what he did. I understand it. You don't have to like it. You don't even have to agree to it. But there's a respect level. And the women that he helped with that 1.5 million can't stand up. Thank you, JJ. The black women in the B1 grassroots support him. This Kyrie situation is just white not say so. And the only biscuit eaters hate them. Thank you so much, JJ. Where are these women at? Where's your public support for a brother now that he going through something? Now that they trying to cancel him. Now that they trying to ruin him. Trying to destroy this man. For nothing. Just because they mad. Just because they don't like what he said. Thank you, Samuel. So I hope all of your messages convey to black women that you are truly looking out for them and they're living a truly beautiful life with their black men. Thank you so much, Samuel. And you got Candace coming out and saying, nope, we backing him. We backing him. You're not going to make me say something that I don't want to say about that man. Y'all ought to be shamed. Y'all WNBA, whatever women benefited from him, y'all ought to be absolutely ashamed to sit somewhere and be silent and be quiet as Zaddy run that man through the ringer. And you ain't making but 30, 40, maybe 50,000 a year. And that ain't them brothers' fault that the WNBA don't make no money. That's not their fault. That he able to make millions of dollars off of his talent in the NBA and you can't make half that in the WNBA. That's not their problem. They didn't create that system. Thank you, Miko. Thank you so much. Thank you, Child of Light. Said Jay Williams stood up for Brethren Kyrie as well. I'm so glad to see the support for Brethren. Candace Owens even stood up. Thank you, sister. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She even stood up. Thank you, Joker. Y'all ought to be shamed. I'm talking to all the black women that will not stand up and support this brother. You always waiting in the wings trying to figure out what Zaddy gonna do, and then you come out and cheer whatever Zaddy decide to do to him. Yeah, that's what he get. You know, he shouldn't have said that. What are you talking about? Thank you, Theo. Thank you, N.O. the boss said, but They ain't said a word to Jeff Bezos for allowing the movie on Amazon. And they're not going to. Thank you, Theo. Like, that got me hot. That got me hot. I have not seen a black female celebrity come out and say it with her chest how she support Kyrie Irving or Kanye West. I have not seen it. If y'all seen it, let me know, because I have not seen it. Always standing around watching a black man get a beat down. He ain't did nothing to nobody. That man is living his life. Is all that he's doing. Thank you, Mr. Sticks. I could rant about that, but what we're going to do is we're going to go to a commercial break, and then we're going to cook the other side of this, the other part that nobody's talking about. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
This is Norton for A-Game TV, and we're at the A-Game 8th Annual Father and Son Day Carnival. Well, let's talk to some of the fathers out here. Well, here comes a grandfather at least. Can you come over and say a couple of words for A-Game?
Dad, can I have this?
Boy, put that down. You want to talk to me? Ooh, this 28-year-old body sure don't work like it used to.
28? You look more like you're 78.
Dad, can I go in there?
I can't afford that.
Can I have this horse?
Oh, you done broke the merry-go-round.
Dad, can I have this?
Come save me down here today. This boy done took all my energy.
Wow, you really should try A-Game. It's an all-natural solution that's going to give you the energy and pep you need to keep up with that young whippersnapper you got there.
Can I have this?
Oh, who's gonna pay for all this? Hey, can y'all take a two-party out-of-state check?
Here, try some. Wow, that really turned you into a super dad.
Yeah, and with all this energy, I'm really about to enjoy my father's time.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another super dad. This is Norrin for A-Game TV signing off. Remember, stay on your A-Game.
It's always good to have some levity and get a few laughs, because that commercial is like super funny. Y'all know that I enjoy all of these commercials because that little boy is running his daddy ragged, talking about this 28-year-old body ain't like it used to. How you 28 with a cane and an oxygen tank. Thank you, Child of Light. Said they then Goldie Taylor, Cowtown for them folk, talking about anti-Semitism is ingrained in the black community. Sisters aren't talking about her though. But what we are talking about right now is A-Game, A-Game, A-Game. We gotta talk about A-Game right now, right? Because our men really need support in every area. And one of the most critical areas that men need support in is their health, their overall health. Highly important for lionesses to make sure that the men in their life, their husbands and fathers and brothers and sons and uncles and all of these other men that they may closely associate with or within their friend and family circle, we definitely have to do our part to make sure that the men's health is being supported. And one of the number one ways to make sure that our men's health is being supported is through getting them some A-Game, because A-Game is a support for the overall health of men. It supports their vitality, their energy, their strength, and their libido. I know plenty of men on a personal level. I know plenty of men here in this space who swear by A Game. They'll come and any one of them will come and tell you how A Game has positively impacted their lives, have positively impacted their health, has given them the boost that they needed to do things that just wasn't on the radar to do anymore. And they really didn't think they'd be able to finish certain projects or do certain things anymore. And now they can with A Game. So what you want to do is you want to become part of the A Game family, because one of the key things about A Game that I'm proud of is the fact that it is all natural. There aren't any artificial ingredients. This isn't just some, fly by night or whatever kind of pill. This is something that is long lasting. When we say long lasting, we mean it, because you only have to take A Game once every 72 hours. Just make sure that you drink a sufficient amount of water as well. And aside from it being all natural and not having anything to really make you crash or anything like that, has no side effect. So once again, in order to become part of the A Game family, all you have to do is click the link at agameherbal.com. Please don't forget the 10% discount using the code Kendra10, and you can have A Game delivered to you ASAP. Okay? Thank you. VOUUB said the Crimson Cure, the Philip Scott Show, is trying to reach out to you, sister. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Thank you so very much for letting me know. Thank you, Miss Stefania. So meanwhile, none of these people can point out which part of the doc is anti-Semitic. They're just mad that it details that we are the original Hebrews. I doubt a lot of people actually watched it, but I also owe you guys something. Oh, you bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta So we got 430 wonderful people who have hit the like button. So let's get the other 5 or so 100 people to hit it as well. Thank you so much. And we can continue on, because here is the real key here. How is Kyrie able to stand? How is he able to stand proudly and stand strong in front of the media who is attacking him? And he's getting all of these various attacks from all of these different areas and different places. His woman. His woman. His woman is holding him down. This is how you support your husband. This is how you do it. Because the thing about it is, he's able to stand so strong and stand before the world on his beliefs, on his morals, on his value system, because his wife is supporting him. She's providing the soft place to land for him. If you notice, she not nowhere giving no statements nowhere. She not nowhere giving no sound bites. She not nowhere in front of a camera doing nothing. Nothing. You barely even see her at all. Okay? Because she's playing her position. She's playing the background where she's supposed to be, because that's how you give support. That is how a feminine woman gives support. She not nowhere talking at all to no news outlets. She ain't giving no interviews. She ain't letting nobody talk to her about her husband. No, not at all. She not nowhere riding no wave. She not nowhere throwing him under the bus, making ambiguous statements. She's not doing any of that. She's providing the soft landing and being the emotional support that he needs, because look at what's happening. He's having to make a lot of tough decisions. He's losing endorsements. He done got suspended, I believe, without pay. And a lot of lesser women would start running for the hills now, making their exit strategies now. Because why? Because a lot of women in her position is only looking for the high. They not looking for the low. They only looking for the better, not the worse. So if it looked like the money about to dry up even just a little bit, if it looked like she might have to downgrade from a Birkin bag to a Michael Kors bag, she not having it. She ain't having it. So she gonna create distance. You know, the next thing you know, it's divorce papers being filed quietly and all of that foolishness. She gone. She out of there. She checking out because, listen, I got with you to have you fund a lifestyle for me. This is all about the aesthetics and stuff like that for me. I'm not here to actually support you and actually be your wife and actually be your family and actually love you and actually want to be with you through thick and through thin, through high, through low, through sickness, through health, through richer, through poorer. I'm not here to actually live up to the vows that I made with you. At the slightest sign of trouble, I'm willing to break our family up and cause you even more trouble, cause you even more pain, to support you even less, have you stressed out even more, right? That is what most women will do. Oh boy, I'm out of here. You looking about like you ain't gonna be, we might have to go from a 8,000 square foot down to a 4,500 square foot. Oh boy, you got me messed up. You got me twisted. I'm not doing that with you. I'm not struggling with you. However, you've got this woman that's in the background. You got this woman that's not making a spectacle. And that is exactly how it should be. Because the lionesses don't make spectacles. Camille Cosby didn't make a spectacle. You understand? She was just in support of her husband. As he faced the enemies on the outside, she made sure she wasn't the enemy on the inside. You understand? Vanessa Bryant wasn't always somewhere in a camera either. The most she got was when that brother died. And she still, as far as I can tell, she's still upholding the legacy of her late husband with class and with dignity. You didn't see her wilding out. She didn't wait till he was gone and now she got in front of a camera and threw him under the bus and trashed his name and all that kind of stuff. You didn't even see her acting a fool when he went through them grape allegations. She could have acted a fool then, didn't? I don't remember her doing nothing. Because the lioness is there for the long haul. The lioness is there when it's up and when it's down. Because it's easy to be on board when stuff is easy. It's easy when it's easy, right? When stuff is going good and stuff is going the way you think it should go and how you believe it should go and blah, 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 blah. It's easy to sit back. Yeah, I'm down. But your true colors come out when there is adversity. Now what are you actually made of? Because it was all smiles and giggles and stuff like that when I could buy you this and do this and when nothing was happening. Now something's happening. What are you going to do? Because she's going through it as well. Whatever Kyrie going through, she going through. If he has any type of weaker moment or moment where he's, you know what I'm saying, maybe feel like giving up or maybe feel like giving in or maybe feeling like, man, maybe I should just say this or say that just to get things back. She's the one there listening. She's the one there having to give that feminine insight. She's the one that's got to be able to support him. And in whatever decision he make, she got to be there to support it 100%. And he has to be assured that that's what she's going to do. No wavering, no going back and forth. It's got to be sure. It's got to be unquestionable. Unlike Kim Kardashian. Because we got Kanye going through the same thing Kyrie going through. And we see Kanye spinning because he don't have the support. Notice when the brothers have the support of their lioness wives, they don't do all that crazy spinning out of control. Because Cosby went through it and he an old man now. Calm. I'm sure he didn't like what was going on. I'm certain he didn't. But how could he cope with it? How could he deal with it? What helped him deal with it easier? His wife. And the support of his wife. Kanye don't have that. Kim got out of there. Kim got out of there, okay? Kim left before because it was a good PR move for her to leave, okay? It was a good PR move for her to create distance between herself and Kanye and to create distance between him and them kids, okay? Kim showed what she was going to be on. Kim showed you what she was about. Thank you, Jashawn said, greetings. LeBron James' wife did not support him when Karen harassing him courtside. Thank you so much. That's why Kyrie can stand and say, you know what? This is what we doing. And have confidence in it. And derive the strength from his support system. And when men don't have that support system, it's difficult for them to find where to get that strength from. Because now they got to scramble. What support do Kanye have? None. His mama gone. He don't got his daddy. He not connected now with his children the way he would like to be. Kim done threw him under the bus. Kim always threw him under the bus. See, because Kim wasn't going to stick by him through no firestorm like this. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Oh, no. She cut ties before it could get there. And I'm going to tell you why she was able to cut ties before it could get there. Because she pillow talk with that man. She been knowing Kanye long as he been knowing her. They didn't just meet right before they got married. They had been friends. Okay? She know who Kanye is. And the thing that made her create that distance is because she was privy to his private thoughts and feelings. But she was also privy to his willingness to state those things publicly. Because you can tell the way Kanye talk. He's again what? A black man that what? Have control over his own self. So I should be able to say what I want to say. Right? I should be able to say what I want to say. Kim got out of there. Now, the things that Kanye do, she don't got to answer for in the media. She don't got to answer for that. She cut ties early enough on that nobody's asking her to answer for what Kanye do. And she threw him under the bus when she did it because she was like, oh no, he crazy, he this, he that. So she used his mental health against him and all of that sort of thing. So now she come out looking like a rose. Nobody's bothering Kim. on the back of nothing that Kanye do or say. So he's twisting in the wind on his own. That poor man by himself with no support system. Nobody he can confide in. Nobody that he can see as his true ride or die, his true friend that's really got his back for the sake of having his back. To help ground him. He don't got her. She wasn't going to stick by him no how. So we're going to have to pray for Kyrie and the strength of his wife. Okay? Because they truly will have won if they able to turn that woman against Kyrie. If they able to convince her to divorce him or leave him or turn her back on him or anything like that, that's what's going to break it. Not the stuff they doing. See, the reason why the stuff they doing to Kyrie right now don't break is because he got that support. Imagine if he didn't have it. He would be eaten alive by the wolves that are at his door. This is how lionesses protect their husbands. Thank you, N.O. the Boss again, said Dr. Boyce Watkins have been embracing Kanye. They brothers got him. Thank you so much. Our feminist support is a covering for our men. Lionesses, I'm talking to y'all. Ladies, I'm talking to you. This is feminine support. This is feminine covering for your husband. Because he's gonna need you, especially at times where he's got to fight all of these battles on all of these fronts outside. When he come in, that's got to be the refuge. And if you're not providing that refuge, if you are also battling him, if you are also chaotic with him, if you are also combative with him, if you are not supporting, if you are not listening, if you are not submitting, if you are in a constant tug of war with him, then understand that you are not being a support, you're being an enemy. You're being an enemy on the inside. How he's supposed to deal with that? The enemy out over there and the enemy over here. The enemy on the inside is always worse. Because the one on the outside you can readily identify. The one on the inside is the one that can hurt you the most. It's usually the person closest to you that can get to you. And our husbands have to be safe from us. And the only person that can make sure he's safe from us is us. And that means not listening to outside, external people, advice, people in your ear, all of these other types of things that make you think differently about your husband and about your relationship and how you got to support him. Okay? You're gonna need to be that support system no matter what. I see a little bit of chatter in the chat room about someone asking about A game. Please put a 1 in the chat if you are a brother that has taken A game and it has helped you. Please go ahead and put a 1 in the chat for me. Please do that for me. Thank you so much. I'm starting to see these 1s come in. Thank you so much for that. Really greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And I want to thank every last one of you for your support of A Game, for your purchase of A Game. Thank you so much. Excuse me. But you gotta be able to be this support system, because I know of men in this red pill space, in this manosphere space, that actually have good women behind them and they thrive. I also personally know men in this space that don't have good women with them and they have to succeed in spite of those women, in spite of them. And it's really a horrible thing that they go through when you listen to what's happening to these men behind closed doors and the stuff that they go through with these hyenas that don't have any interest in being a support system. They only have an interest in usurping and consuming a man for however long they can do that. And this is why the Brittany Renners of the world and all of her ilk are single. This is the real reason why they single. These little fun time hot girls. Because a Brittany Renner don't know nothing about support like this. If she was still married to PJ Washington and PJ Washington started going through something and that money get cut from him, she gonna be gone. She not gonna stand. She not gonna stand because she's not built like that. She just not built like that. That's why she's single. Fine as she was and all how much she threw this around and threw that around and threw herself around, then nobody want to get it because you might be pretty. You look good on my arm. You look good in my bed, but you don't look good as a fixture in my life. That's where you don't look good because you don't understand how to support. You don't know how to love no man. You just know how to usurp and consume him. That's all that you know. That's all that you know. Thank you, H. Louise said, let's be real. The reason they're going after that brother is because he is not one of the sheep. They can't control him, so they are trying to control his mobility and make his environment a living. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Brittany Renner would be gone. She would be little, okay? She would be little. Soon as any kind of trouble, you suspended. She gone. The next week, she'd have been filed for divorce, irreconcilable differences, and that would have been the next TMZ shade room tea and all of that. And then she'd have did a little sorry tour about how she had to do it. And it didn't really have anything to do with what he was going through. It was other stuff. She make an excuse about it. All to cover the fact she don't know how to support nobody. Okay? Here's the other thing that we need to talk about. This is what the passport bros are talking about. Now we can bring it full circle. This is what the passport bros is talking about. Because this isn't passports just to get a passport, just to do this, that, and the third. What they really doing is they are going outside of this demographic of women to go and find women that are going to give them the result that Kyrie is experiencing right now. That is what they are doing. Women that have a mind and have a heart and that have an understanding that she is a cover to him like he's a cover to her. And that she will be a support system when he's doing good and he's not going to have to survive and thrive in spite of her, but she's going to help him do that and not constantly and consistently subtract and detract away and be a distraction and be a trouble and be a problem and a source of stress in his life all the dang time. This is what the passport bros is on. And I'm saying, please go get your passports. Please save yourselves, brothers. Please do that. what is best for you, what is best for yourself. Because these are the things, this is the same kind of support that your regular old brother needs. Your average black man needs this kind of support. It's not just about the Kyries and the Kanyes of the world. This is about your average men that's got to go to work every day, that's got to make it in his life every day, that's seeing all of these adversities every day. And when he come home, he got to be able to rest. As a matter of fact, this is partly why the struggle is what it is, because the women broke that contract and said, we're not going to support. Black women have been the enemy in the house. So he's had to face the enemies out there and come home knowing it's an enemy right here. I'm sleeping with the enemy. I'm sleeping with the enemy. I got to sleep with one eye open because at any time she can blow this up. At any time she can just blow it up. And everything that I don't work for, everything that I done sweat, blood, tears, that I done put into building, into getting ahead, into making sure my family and my children can get ahead and be better than me, she just blow it up. And ain't nobody got time for that. This is why our men are walking off. Don't have time. Don't have the energy. Thank you, Venemy said, thank you for sharing these truths, sister. Yes, we as men deserve women who authentically love us. Exactly. Precisely. And I agree 100%. Not only do the men not have time, they don't have the energy and don't want to have the energy anymore because it's too much energy expended in this capacity that could be utilized for thriving. I got to watch them and then I got to turn around and watch you. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. I got to make sure you don't stab me in the back. You supposed to be behind me watching my six, not waiting with the butcher knife. You ready to cut and run. Thank you, LCN Royalty. Said just wanted to support one time for the one time. Thank you so much. And thank you, Diedrich Muhammad said, if she doesn't want a good man, she doesn't trust God. Thank you. This is what I'm talking about. The inability and the unwillingness to support your men is what's making them walk away. Y'all forgot how practical men are. You really did. You forgot how practical they are. So you think that they're just as emotional as you are, and they're not. Men are practical. They problem solve. And if you're a problem, they gonna solve you. You're not gonna like it. You are not going, 100% I guarantee you not going to like whatever they come up with to solve you as a problem. You're not going to like the outcome. Thank you, Kevin. Do y'all want to take a minute to talk about how we going to change the world? Thank you, H. Lewis said we're being attacked from all directions. They're trying to checkmate us. Open your eyes. It's about surviving now. We're in the end game now. Fight. Exactly. Exactly. The scariest part is this type of public lynching isn't quite working as well as it would have 10 years ago or 15 years ago. I think that's what's so scary to them. Let's talk about how we gonna save the world. Or at least how we gonna save the Black community in America, right? Because I wanna talk about the petition that we have against Black Lives Matter. And I want to really clarify, and I'm gonna be doing this pretty much from here on out, because we need to understand as a community what we're trying to do with this initiative and what purpose the petition serves that we have against Black Lives Matter. Because I think I started this petition in, I want to say March or April or something like that. It's been for the majority of the year, right? And our original goal, and it's still our goal, is to get 100,000 signatures on this petition, right? But the petition is not just a petition for the sake of having it. It's really a step one of many steps that we're implementing in order to truly assist and support the Black community. And I want to point it out here, okay? Because as you can see, there are several steps that need to be taken. So this isn't going to be something overnight that happens, but this is certainly something that is very, very much vital to the survival of the Black community all across the United States, okay? And so the first step is actually the petition itself. And what we wanted to do was create a foundational interest group of at least 10,000 people to support the initiative. We actually achieved that goal, and I want to keep going. That next milestone, I want us to reach 15,000, because this creates a vision and a roadmap. These signatures are extremely important as we continue this initiative, because we're really in the business of helping and supporting in a real-time, practical way the Black community. So now that we've done that, the next step is to circulate a global press release of the petition with many others to follow. So we're not just doing one press release. The purpose of the press releases is to actually garner more attention towards the petition itself, so that as more people sign it, as more people become aware of it, it actually gains traction even outside of YouTube, right? Because that's where we really need to go. That is the true direction of this. So as we reach certain milestones, we're going to continue to have press releases, right? And then the next step after that is to nominate a national leader for the initiative. Now, this person is going to be a red pill Black man who has a history of serving, has the best interests of our community at heart, and knows how to navigate both social and political waters, okay? So this is a capable Black man that's going to be able to be the voice and the face of this initiative. That's gonna boost us into that space where we can get 100,000 signatures. We're not capping it at that, right? But this is where we want to go, because that's truly significant. If you can get 100,000 signatures on a petition like this, that really solidifies the backing of the community. And this is where the community begins to get the actual help and support that it needs, because in this next step, we're connecting with other individuals and groups to support the needs of the community. I don't know if people really know this, that there's a difference between the Black Lives Matter Global Networking Foundation and the grassroots level of Black Lives Matter that's actually got their feet on the ground in their respective cities and neighborhoods. And a lot of these grassroots efforts, they're doing it without necessarily a lot of help, a lot of support or anything. They're just kind of out on their own, doing the best that they can for their communities. We want to connect with these groups and with these individuals to let them know that they have support and that support can be provided so that it can bolster what they do in their communities. And the way in which it's going to be bolstered is the next step, to incorporate a proven success model to build our communities across America. We actually have a proven blueprint for that. And as with everything else, it's based on those 10 life values, right? To bridge the gap basically between those values in a practical way to the members of the Black community all over America. And then finally, to use the funds retrieved to help Black men affected by injustice. When we say the funds retrieved, what we're talking about is Black Lives Matter Global Networking Foundation being sued actually by the grassroots, Black Lives Matter organizations to recoup that money. This is what we're talking about, holding them accountable for that $100 million theft that they did. So that money actually can go to all of the practical programs and things of that nature that are actually going to help these communities across America. This is huge. This is huge. This is not some small fly-by-night thing. It is huge and it's incredibly important. Incredibly important. To render the help and the support that we have long overdue and have not seen really from a whole lot of different programs that promised what they were going to do, but no real plan behind it. Even if the intention was good. So we're not just thriving off of just the good intention of it, but the actual work to get these things done, which is why the signing of the petition is such an important step. So I implore everyone who has not signed the petition to please do so. The link is in the chat. It's also in the description box as well. So I would implore you to sign the petition, to also spread it around, share it, contribute to it as well, okay? Vitally important. I want to thank everyone for their contributions through Cash App, through Super Chat, through PayPal. Thank you all so much because these contributions are extremely appreciated. I want to thank all of you, and I especially want to thank my support team who puts together all of these wonderful ideas, these wonderful, beautiful charts that I'm able to show. Lots of time and effort goes into these things in order for me to present them. And we're all very grateful. So I want to thank them as well. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.